So one of the key things that NLP does is this. Because NLP has many techniques, it helps people to get back into a past event, get back into a time where they were doing certain things really well, and getting you to rethink about what you were doing back then. I'll give you a good example. This is what happens to many of the top sports coach. Now basically how sports coach, right, work with their clients is that they will basically get, do you know this man by the name of Andre Agassi? Andre Agassi was one of the top tennis players of all time, back then. And he was formerly a world number one. At one point of his time in his career, from world number one, right, he dropped to 144 position. Terrible, right? Imagine from playing in the field, right, with the best, to like playing with the amateur like that. At that point of time, he was like, wow, how can I move back? But there was no way he can go back. Then that was when he got in the NLP coach to help him. So what the NLP coach basically taught him was, it was not teaching him something new. Because what? Everyone in this room already has the resources to achieve what he wants. So basically the NLP coach, the purpose of the coach is not to teach him something new, because he told Andre, he says, Andre, I want you to know that you already know how to be successful, because the history has already proven it. You have done it before, you were world number one, you were world champion. The reason why you are not the world champion today, because why? Because you are not aware of what you were doing back then when you were a champion. So all he did was, Andre, can I get you to think about a time where you were actually playing at your very best? That was basically what he did. And then Andre suddenly remembers something. He says, compare it to the time now, as compared to now, what are you doing different? That was where Andre realized this. He realized that through a coaching framework process, right, Andre realized that the reason, the slightest difference, right, actually makes a whole lot of difference. That's why I mean, sometimes just rewiring one thing, right, can make a whole lot of difference. What he realized was that Andre, at this point of time, because he was so down, every time before he even stepped onto the field, you know what he do? He will come in like this. How many of you watch sports, right? Sometimes you see some players come out. They come out like this. And then you know straight away, this person is going to lose. He is waiting for a beating. But then he realized that what the coach did was, he got him to understand that the time where he was actually formerly world champion, it was very different, Because back then, he was spotted with this ponytail. But then Andre Agassi had this ponytail at the back. And then, every time he entered the court, it was not like this. It was like this. And then before he took the shot, he might even do this. And the ponytail just And then that was when he realized that, now you pointed this out to me. Now I knew why during that time, right, I was so good. See, many times, right, people were doing something very, very good, but they don't know what exactly they're doing. So the first person sometimes you can model, right, is actually to model yourself. Because you already have all the resources to achieve what you want. All you need to do is a coach and a framework to bring those resources out. Now, of course, then there's a second, another category right here, which also stops a lot of people from achieving what they want. What is this? This unconscious